myself. I know that this is helping me and it's helping someone else too, because you clicked on this video to watch a winter arc challenge. And this is the challenge yourself. You are the challenge. I think we sometimes forget that we're human. Good evening, you guys. Welcome to the mukbang. We're having Little Caesars for dinner tonight. And I thought it would be great to get the bundle. I forget what it's called, but it's like a combination of pizza and crazy bread. And we got some honey garlic wings. So we're going to be chatting today. We're going to talk about personal growth hacks and seizing opportunity. All that good stuff we're going to talk about in this video. And I just wanted to chat with you guys because I'm really interested in improving my health. And through this winter arc, I really believe that it's changed my life for the good. And there's just so many ways that we can improve. And I'm going to tell you guys some personal growth hacks. And I hope you guys get a lot out of this video. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. And let's get started. Number one, the first personal growth hack I have for you guys is do what makes you happy. If we're not happy and healthy, our mind is not full of just stress and anxiety, we will never get where we want to go. I mean, I believe that I have become a better person because I wanted to work on myself. I wanted to work on many things like emotional, physical, mental health, and physical health. Like, I wanted to work on these things because I wanted to be better, in a sense that everything in all aspects has changed, reinventing myself in a way that because I'm a happier person, I can live a life to my fullest. I can have the future that I've always wanted myself, that I've dreamed of. And I am growing in ways that are unimaginable, being present, being in the moment and taking it all in. We forget that sometimes we live in the past. We think about memory and how things have changed us and how things have traumatized us. We spend too much time thinking about the past, and we need to realize that we really need to be in the present. We need to be optimistic. We need to really think about what's going to happen next and be in that space where everything is okay. I'm happy where I am right now. And I really think I've changed in that way. I've been more mindful. I think number two, the most important thing is to be mindful. Things like journaling, meditating, prayer, reading, music. There's so many ways to be mindful. I have a book on it. It's a dummies book, and it's about mindfulness, and all these things can contribute to that happiness that we have for ourselves. So mindfulness is really, to explain mindfulness, it's kind of like a personal choice in a sense that you are making these intentional choices. And for example, you could do yoga, you can exercise, you can ease your mind from the stress, you can breathe, you could stretch, and you can use your body to exercise and to move the parts of your body that have tension, or even praying, like using your mind to talk to your higher power, God, speaking to someone about the things that you're struggling with, or the things that are making you really happy in the moment, like journaling. That's a really good self-expression way of letting out your emotions, or even writing down your ideas. That's a great creative way of thinking writing down your thoughts and using it to be creative. Something that I sometimes struggle with is anxiety. It could be within work, social anxiety, having the confidence and the self-esteem. Sometimes I don't have that. Sometimes I have a lot of energy and I have a lot of confidence, but sometimes when I talk to people and I don't know them very well, I get really not stressed, but I get a little panicky in the sense that I'm nervous and I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I'm working on just listening and taking in the conversation, getting not feedback, but how you can relate to the person. Communication is key, and I think people lose that sense of socializing ever since COVID. I mean, we were literally locked in for years and I wasn't working, so I was at home. I had no job. And people were doing Zoom. People were FaceTiming. People were watching YouTube or TV and watching movies and doing all these crazy things at home and hoarding toilet paper and not knowing if they should use like a towel to wipe their butt or wasting water getting a bidet. Like there were so many crazy things that we did during that time, and I think we kind of lost that social aspect in our lives for that moment in time because the anxiety. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. We kind of closed ourselves in. We isolated. We hibernated, like what we're doing right now in the winter arc. We hibernated, and I think people learned that they have to do things for themselves. They have to learn. People have to really, if they want to learn, they will learn. I learned so many things from YouTube. I learn everything. Motivational speaking, like those are my favorite types of videos to watch because people talk about self-improvement, discipline, habits, habit stacking, habit tracking. Like there's so many different elements to being a better person in that development stage, and we need to be more like that. We need to have that mindset that we can do whatever we want if we put our mind to it. So this is really good. I'm gonna have some of the wings. This is the honey garlic wings. Yeah, YouTube is great for motivational speakers. I found so many great people like Huberman's Lab. I like Tamcor. There's this girl named Nika that I watch. There is the Wizard Liz. There's so many different people out there. Lots of great, powerful women who have these inspirational, motivational channels that I watch. And even men. I listen to men like Iman Ghadzi. He's great. He talks about monk mode, and I think that's really interesting. A very strong-willed type of way of living, monk mode. And people are learning to grow financially. Like, for example, having a business, having your own company. Like, people strive to have the money so that they could buy things, to have a home, to have a vehicle, to have a family, to have the things that they've aspired to have. And I think it's really great to have the aspiration, the motivation, the determination, and also qualification. I mean, people learn by doing, people learn by books, watching, visualizing. People also learn from education, from like going to school, university, taking a course. There's so many different ways of learning, and we just got to take it into account. We need to implement them into our lives. We need to learn. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it's really expensive, but if we are willing to learn, we will become more successful. And I think that's what I learned throughout this whole process. Being successful is also in the mind, and everything is in the mind, I believe. Something that I also realized is don't be too hard on yourself. Like, people go through so many things. We go through deaths, illness, medical reasons behind our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health. Like, everything contributes, and I think we sometimes forget that we're human. We go through things, we experience things, we go through life thinking about the past and the memory, but we don't think about ourselves. We need to think about the mental health that we have for ourselves. And I used to be really hard on myself. If depression really takes a toll on you, it's very difficult. I've experienced seasonal depression sometimes, and it can really trigger some people. And it's because the change in the weather, it could also be a cloudy day, a snowy day, a dark day. We don't get that sun, that sunlight. We don't have the energy to do what we are set out to do. And I think if we were motivated to do the exercising, to do the mindfulness, to do the hobbies that we love, to work the job that we love, to have all the things that we want in life, the things we desire, the things that we choose to buy, I think people would be. Depression is hard because you could go through something that changes your entire life. Like what happened to me when I was a child, when I was a teenager. It could change your life. But then you learn and you grow, you mature, you go through things, and then you forget about the past. You forget about what you did as a child, and you really become an adult. You start the adulting phase. You become more grounded. You become more disciplined. You get the dream job. You save the money. You have the family. You have the support system. And everything comes together when you're older. And I really learned that. I know that what I've experienced, others people have also experienced too. They did something in their past and they grow from it. They become a better person because of what has happened to them. So when I think about myself as a 15-year-old turning 16, I was very young and naive. But then now I'm 31. I have looked at the past and now I see it in a different light. I see it as a positive thing now because I've learned to accept myself. I accept myself for who I am. I am really happy with how I've taken that experience and I've used it to not only help myself, but to help others. Personal growth is such a really important thing to me, especially mental health. And I want to make that lifestyle change. I want to fix my life so that my habits don't have to change who I am. And not in a sense that I'm changing because I have to change. I'm changing because it's for the better. It's going to make me so much more disciplined than I already am. I believe that I have changed in a sense that I worked on these things because I had the time to work on myself in my own time. And some people don't have that time. Some people do not have the luxury of time. And I believe time management is so important. I had the chance the whole week to myself. This November break, I started the Winter Arc Challenge. I did it when nobody was around, when my parents went to Mexico. And I think that was the best thing that's ever happened to me. By not going to Mexico, I didn't have enough money. So I stayed home. And you know what I did? I was productive. I took on this challenge, and this winter arc has made me a better person. You know why it made me better? Because I believed in myself enough to know that I could do this on my own without nobody's help. And I created the coolest videos, I believe. These videos have really shaped who I am now today. And it's so cool because I'm being more creative. I'm thinking of great ideas that I can put into my videos. I already have the next week lined up. I know what I'm going to film the next day. I film the day before I post, and then I put it out already. I edit it for hours during that time. I put it together as I'm filming, and I'm creating something that means something to me personally. These are like personal journals, these vlogs. I take it, I consider it, I understand where it's coming from my head, my own ideas, and I believe in myself. I know that this is helping me and it's helping someone else too, because you clicked on this video to watch a winter arc challenge. And this is the challenge yourself. You are the challenge. And I've learned that you got to do it on yourself, your own. And if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's the beauty of it. I mean, I think some people are just caught up in the everyday life. Like, my life is so hard, so stressful. I don't have time to do anything for myself. I think we need to take the time for a self-care. Self-care doesn't have to be makeup or skincare. It could be a lot of things. It could be like walking. It could be exercising. It could be reading, praying. It could be so many things to so many people. And I think self-care is from within, not only the physical, but how we present ourselves in a way that's pleasing to ourselves. Not just other people, but ourselves. And it's so important. I mean, I used to look at myself and be like, why am I not who I wanted to be? Is this version of myself something that satisfies me, makes me content? Like, does it make me happy? Am I doing this the right way? Or have I challenged myself enough? Am I facing a struggle, and how can I fix it? Like, there's so many things that you could work on, and this winter arc challenge has helped me with that. I've learned so much about myself. There's so many things that I'm still working on, and I know it. And that's okay, because we're going to keep going. We're going to go on until the new year. We're going to have that vision that we've always had for ourselves. before going into the new year. So we're going to have that winter arc. We're going to transition without, we're already going to have our habits down. We're already going to have everything in place. And we're going to be a lot more ready and prepared for the new year because we did these things. There's a saying, have the courage not to fight back. And that goes with saying, you don't have to fight back, but you can react in a way that you feel works for you. And you don't have to fight, but you can choose to have a better life. You can make the choice, you can implement it into your life, and you can create a vision, you can create a schedule, or you can create the life that you've always wanted by doing things in a not so structured way, in a structured way. I'm doing it non-structured. I'm going day by day, going with the flow. The ebb and flow of the day is what's keeping me sane because I know what I can do for myself and I know what's best for me. So I'm doing this in a way that's relaxing and chill, more fun, because who likes structure sometimes? I mean, sometimes it's good. It depends. Like it could be, you could have an appointment one day. You could have your dinner at 6:00. Like those things I understand, but like there's other things that happen in the day. Like we're going to go shopping. We're going to go for that one walk. We're going to do some knitting or crocheting, or we're going to work on music. We're going to make a song, or I think I'm going to do this. I think I need to practice on this. And there's so many ways that you can be intentional with your time and being creative and being creative with your time. I feel like I've done that and I've used my time wisely and productively, and you just got to focus on the good, but also learn from your mistakes and create a balance, not just a work balance or a home life balance, but having the ability to create the life you want and build on your habits, your discipline, your determination to do things, your motivation, things that make you want to achieve things because you chose that. I do things in hopes of being intentional in ways that improve my life, in ways that provide insight and information on what I've learned from doing these things. And that's what I've learned. I've learned so much over the past few days, this past week. It's been really fun. And not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people don't have the time to work on themselves. And I think you can make time for anything. If you put in 10 minutes even, 5 minutes, 2 seconds of your time, you can change a habit. And it doesn't have to be a hard task. It can be a simple task, as like washing the dishes, taking out the trash, cleaning the table. Like it could be simple duties that you do at home that you lack and you are too lazy to do. It could be, I don't know, it could be doing the laundry or making your bed or washing your face or brushing your teeth, like things like that. Those are habits, and you can do that for yourself. Those are just minuscule things. Like in Atomic Habits, there's this part in the book where it talks about putting the things where you place the things so it's present and it's right in front of you. So when you wake up on the bed, out of bed, and you have your workout clothes set out in front of you, right on your floor, so that you're ready to put them on, wear them, and exercise. It will make you exercise because it's right there, and you can observe it, you see it, and you just want to wear it because it's right there in front of you. It's present. It's right there. And that's worked for me a lot. Like, I would place my things on my table in my kitchen, and I would do these things, like making my day planner, like doing my supplements, like drinking my water, because I put them on the table. And I was able to do these things with ease, without any problems, because they were set out in front of me, and I did them because that is my new habit. And it's crazy how this has worked for me. It's so crazy how these things have changed my perspective on life itself and on my personal living. Like my whole life has been a blur, and now it's like clear. Like, I know what I have to do. Excuse me. Now I know why I've been lazy, and maybe I wasn't as productive as I thought I was, but now I am. I'm really proud of myself because I don't think I could have done that 10 years ago. If you set your mind, if you make goals for yourself, if you present things in your life that apply to you and you think are achievable, then do it. And everybody has goals. Everybody has a purpose. Your intentionality is so important. Your individuality is important. Your uniqueness, your ability to make choices and to do things that you never thought you would do. I did this because I wanted to make 2025 the best year in my life. But I've already started, and it's great. And I'm so happy that I started early in November, because this has proven to work. And I know it's working for me. I know what works for me. This has made me more, I'm not going to say intuitive, but like, I know what I need to do. I feel it. I live it, and I do it with purpose and ease. It is easy if you do it in a way that works for you. So that's what I've learned. These personal growth hacks, they have shaped me. And seizing opportunity is one thing that I always wanted to do. I have this job. I'm on probation. I don't find out if I stay until the 25th of November. And it's kind of scary, but at the same time, I think I've improved so much. I've grown so much as a person. I'm more confident. I take initiative, and I'm doing things that I didn't think I was able to do because I didn't have the self-confidence. I didn't think I had a purpose before, but now I believe that I do with these kids. And I work as an educational assistant in special needs. I work with kids with autism, and sometimes it can be hard. It can be rough sometimes, but now I'm so happy. And it's funny because my teacher said today to me, he said, "I've never seen you this happy. You look happier." And yeah, I've never seen you so happy. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because it's true. I am happy. And I've worked so hard on this and I don't want to lose it. So I'm hoping that I can stay. And if I do, I get permanent. And that's great. So yeah. I don't know. I'm still waiting. I'm very nervous about. I hope I get it. I think I will. And it's going to be okay. But you know what? If it doesn't work out, that's okay too, because maybe there is another reason. Maybe there's another job opportunity for me. And maybe I can improve in other ways with a new job, but I would love to stay. It is so close to home and it's just convenient and it's right there, and I love the location so much. It makes me happy to be at school and be with my coworkers, and it's a great environment. Everybody's very friendly and it's great. I wanted this job so bad and I got it, but then it's keeping it, which is the scary part. And not knowing is the unknown is also a scary thing. And I think we need to understand that we're living people, and people are human, and it's okay if it doesn't work out. But if it does, that's great, and I'll be so happy, and then we're gonna celebrate. I'm gonna be so happy. And this will help me become a better person as well. And it's not even about the winter arc now, it's about my work. And I worked so hard for this. This is kind of like an outer portion of my life. There's work and then there's my home life. It's so different, but I keep work at work and my home stuff at home, my personal stuff. So I think the difference is when I change and transition between the two. It's not just a mindset, but it's what I value, what I believe, how I make decisions, and how I choose to forego them, and how I work on myself through these things. And work is work and home is home, personal, and I don't like to mix the two. But yeah, it's a tricky thing sometimes. It can affect me when I'm at home. Like work could affect me, and it could change my whole presence. Like if we can't manage what's happening at school, the stress, or what I'm trying to say is, don't take your work stress and bring it home. I think that's what I've learned. Not to talk about my problems. I mean, sometimes I talk about things that I feel like I'm concerned with, but I don't usually bring it home. And I think it's important to do that because it gives you the space and that division, that line between the two. So I don't know. Sometimes it can be a struggle and it's hard, but at the same time, I'm like happy with where I am right now, and I don't want to lose that. And I used to be really anxious about it because I didn't think I was doing a good job, but I've learned from it and I've grown. And now I'm like, I feel confident in myself. I've never felt so positive and happy to see the kids. I mean, it's a lot to take in sometimes, but I really love these kids, and yeah, I'm just happy. These are so good. I used to eat these all the time when I was a kid. If you think about it this way, you could have built the life that you want, and you can create a space for yourself where you feel motivated to do these things because you chose to do it, and you put in the work, and you have a purpose. Your intentionality is from within, and all these things are because of you and what you chose to do. I'm not saying that you should go and exercise 7 days a week, but I'm saying that you can do it in increments. You can do it for 10 minutes a day. Start 10, 20, 30, until you reach, like, I don't know, an hour. Maybe you have to do it in baby steps. Maybe you don't have the chance to do that. So maybe you give it time, space, and that time to elevate and to become the 1 hour. Or maybe you can only do 30 minutes and that's okay. Maybe you go for that walk, like I said. You go around the block a few times, then you come back inside, and maybe you had like 5,000 steps, like what I did the other day. And that was my exercise. Walking 5,000 steps, got my 5,000 steps, then I came back into the house. I did my groceries, I did my haul, and then I was set for the day. Like, you don't always have to do that, but it's one way of exercising. It's one way of being purposeful with your time. And you don't always have to exercise at home. You can go to the gym, you can go for a walk, you can go, I don't know, you can go swimming at the local rec center. Like, you could do yoga at home. You can do anything you want. You provide the choices and the decisions. You make these things to progress your life, not just personally, but because this is what you set out to do for yourself. So I urge you guys to take these hacks and implement them into your life. Work on these things not just because I told you to, but because they will be beneficial to you. And I want to provide that information to you and help you guys out, because this is what I've learned. This is what I've been through and experienced. And I want you guys to be happy with who you are, because you're an individual. You are unique. You are brave. You are strong. And you can do anything that you set your mind to.